Hey everybody, it's Daryl Gardner with We the People Carry Archery and Gun Range. I'm finally on my way home, but I was going to fill up with fuel, but since old Trumpy couldn't tell the truth, and my diesel, which is a byproduct of gas, by the way, and was always, when I was younger, cheaper than gas, which it should be, is now ridiculously high, $5 a freaking gallon. Now, isn't this weird? Right after the State of the Union address, we are told that gas is cheaper than it ever has been. It's below $2. There's places that it's $1 and whatever, all this big talk. The very next morning, I went to fill up, and it had already jumped from the $3.19 it was the day before for diesel. Notice that wasn't $2 that we were told about, but to $3.69. So it went up 50 cents overnight. And I asked them in the Quick Mart, I said, well, why in the world would my fuel go up so much? And they're like, oh, well, some tanker or something. I said, well, wait a minute. Old Trumpy just got done bragging about all this oil and how the prices are going to go even lower. I'm not sure is what I was told. I don't know what's going on. I said, okay. So I thought, well, I'll just find me another station. I got to travel all over North Alabama, Middle Tennessee. I'll find me somewhere else. Oh, no, the cheapest was at my house, $3.69. So then I look on my different apps. I got T-Mobile. I get like 25 cents on Tuesdays or 20 or whatever the giveaway is. And then I have earned points. So I'm looking at my reward points so I can get a little off. Fill up. 2 or 3 days later, I got to fill up again, right? And I drive a diesel, big truck, but I'm trying to do all these giveaways and things. So I have a lot of road running to do to put this together. People don't realize how much I drive around and I talk to the different shops and I see what's up, what's new, and get this free stuff so people can get stuff, and we get more advertisement from these shops, and we give them some. But anyway, I go to fill up then the next day, $4.29. And now it's at $5. The last 2 days, I've seen all this bragging about how, it was down to $90 or $100. Then it went to $90, and now it's down to $77 a barrel. That's they said 2 days ago. Still $5 a day at the pump, $5 a gallon at the pump. Now, you tell me, the day after he brags, it starts going up. But the time that now they're buying this oil cheaper, and the price is still there. What happened to all that big talk? I'm not going to let them gouge you. Oh, really? All I see is gouging. I'm ultra right, as everyone knows. But big boy, if you can't tell the truth and start putting things like they're supposed to be, I would suggest you just go home and play with your money and let real men do it. Men that work for a living like me and many others. Not no silly lefty, because we know what means we're gonna get it and then get it worse. But if our own people, you, Mr. Trump, can't do what you say, son, you need to learn something and stop trying to act like that you believe in the Bible, because I'm pretty sure one of them 10 commandments is thou shalt not lie. Brother, you lie with the best of them. Now, I've supported you. I supported you to run against Abomination. And Abomination wasn't worth nothing. He wasn't a citizen. He wasn't anything else. In fact, he's a Twinkie married to a man. Or at least that's my opinion. And it gets really old when people that we try to support that say they can't be bought, because you're supposed to have all this money and, what it looks like you do. But it also, what it looks like to me, is that you can't tell the truth, or you're not holding the right people accountable. And now here on this most recent thing with the Epstein files, all we heard when you were running this time is how you was going to take care of that. You're going to put old Hillary in jail. You're going to do all this stuff. You ain't done none of it. So you're going to go down in history as a man that helped us somewhat, but couldn't tell the truth if it was stamped on his forehead. And that's no joke. Now, you might not like what I have to say, and I'm not advocating either side. because quite honestly, I don't like either one of you. I'm getting to the point that I don't think it's any good for me to do anything about either side of you until the people get together and we start throwing the tea back in the sea. You understand? Because that's what we need to do. We need to turn around and make you people accountable. Now, you need to start decorating some trees with your cronies. Because if you truly are the man you try to pretend you are, we would see convictions. We would see people going to jail. We would see what the treasonous acts that these people have done. They pay for them. They start decorating the trees. You know, the Constitution states that you are tried by 11 and hung by 12. Get off your butt, big boy, and let's start doing the right things. I'm tired of seeing all this talky. How about some doey? People that just talk, you know, I think, what was it, old John Wayne said, let's walk the walk and talk the talk. Well, when you gonna start walking that talk? You know, just because you know all these people and you think you're some kind of fancy man, you're not. Now we see this other congressman turns around and plays a recording where Kash Patel, his own voice, he was told to bury the Epstein stuff. And when he was asked his opinion, once he had said that, oh, you know, he didn't know nothing, we couldn't do nothing, can't convict, all this other lies, he pleaded the fifth. Now, in my country, not the country you pretend to run, in my country, a man pleads the fifth that I'm paying him as a public servant, he needs to swing the next day. That man has committed treason because he's being paid by my money. Supposed to be, and like you said, and see, I was so impressed in your State of the Union when you said, let me see by the showing of standing up the people, their job, all those Congress and senators and judges, everybody in there, if they supported taking care of the American people over the immigrants. Well, guess what, buddy? This is all about taking care of the people. So if you truly think you're going to take care of the people just running your mouth, and then your actions prove that, you know, they talk out of the other side of your mouth or the other side of your body, in my opinion, and you don't follow through holding these people accountable, well, then you're no better than Pedo Joe or Obamanation or any of the others in history. You are definitely not a Teddy Roosevelt. You're definitely not a Ronald Reagan, who I had the fortune of being able to serve as my commander-in-chief. I'm pleading with you to act like the American you pretend that you are and start being a man of your word and start holding these people accountable. If that means getting rid of every single senator and congressman and the entire Justice Department, whoever it is, and all your little cronies that got some money that ain't never worked a day in their life, all these so-called self-proclaimed celebrities that, you know, in the old days, they made the least, and they always had the least impact because they make a living lying. Now, people act like that their opinion matters. You know, I watched old Gene Simmons interview the other day, and he told all those stars and singers and all that to shut up. Well, I'm telling you, shut up, put up, or get off the pot, whatever you got to do. But we need to start seeing the right things done and stop hearing about the wrong things. Don't talk it if you can't do it. Don't pretend you're like the rest of us if you're not going to follow through. Once again, this is Daryl throwing out them opinions. And again, they're just my opinions. So, follow me, share it, comment, tell everybody about it. Like it, don't like it. It's up to you. Either way, my opinion's mine and yours is yours. But this is the way I think. And if you really like to enjoy things and you're ready for a regular way of life, come on out and visit me at the range. And we can, you know, throw some arrows or throw some gunpowder out there or whatever we're doing. But we're going to have a little bit of fun and enjoy ourselves. Act like the Americans we know we are. Because one thing that's never going to happen in my lifetime, from those cold dead hands, as they say, that Second Amendment's going to stand forever. And that's the way it is. Anyway, in Middle Tennessee, everybody, you have a good day, and I hope we have many more to come with people that start doing what they say they'll do. Thank you.